Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me again today. Jamie Collins, licensed real estate professional in Colorado. And today we're going to talk tips and tricks to make sure that you find the perfect home. Buying a home is likely the biggest purchase and investment that you're going to make. So you want to make sure that you are putting that money into the right place. Buying a house can be scary and complicated. So here are some tips and tricks to keep you on track and hopefully save you some stress. First, and most importantly, get pre-approved from a lender so that you know what you can afford. We don't want to be shopping for homes that you can't afford. That's going to be the first step. Now that we have the budget, we focus on the home, and there's a lot to consider. 64% of millennials regret buying the home they are in now. So I want to make sure that you think about this carefully and we tick all these boxes so that you don't have those same regrets. When considering a home to buy, it is important to remember that the average time people spend in their homes is 8 years. So you want to somewhat look to the future and think long term rather than just the short term of the first 1 or 2 years you're going to be in there. Of course, a lot of this is going to depend on your unique situation. Figure out an area or areas that you want to be in and really spend some time in those areas. Now, if you are moving somewhere further away, that can be more difficult. Get on Google Maps, search around, going Street View, and have a little look around. You want to know the nuances to the neighborhood and the area that you're going to be in. Another component to consider when looking at a home are the must-haves that we have spoken about before. A lot of regret can come from buying a home that doesn't tick all the must-have boxes. And remember, these are must-haves. We can't be too picky. And when thinking about location, you need to consider commute to work, amenities in the area. If you are lucky enough to be among the 70% currently that can work from home, that does allow you some more freedom, but again, make sure you have a good idea of that area. When it comes to viewing the homes in your area and that check your must-haves off, property condition is another factor that you need to consider. Look at major appliances, look at the roof, look for any structural issues that the property may have, because they are big no-nos when it comes to regrets on buying the home. A perfect example of this is a furnace has a life expectancy of about 20 years on average. So if you're viewing a home from 2000, you're going to want to think about that is going to need to be replaced in the near future. Or if you're looking around and the doors won't close properly or there's cracks in the walls and the floors, again, that's probably signs of a structural issue and you want to consider that before making an offer on the home. So when you are looking around these homes, please have a very good look, because that is the number one regret that home buyers have, is that they did not truly understand the cost of maintenance and repairs that were needed on the home. If you're not buying a brand new home, I would budget about 2% of the purchase price of the home every year just for those maintenance and repairs. Hopefully you don't have to use it, but at least you have it just in case. Another huge thing to consider and is often forgotten about are the associated costs with that property out with the purchase price. For example, the HOA dues and the taxes. You will want to find out exactly what the HOA covers, what the fees are, how much a month that is, if there are any special assessments that are related to this property that you will have to pay. Are there multiple HOAs? There's a lot of things to consider that are going to be additional costs on top of the purchase price. Remember, property taxes are not the same for every home. It can vary by neighborhood, it can vary by county, and it can be a drastic difference. So make sure that you know exactly what those taxes are going to be for the year. Now, the last thing I want to talk about are the controllables. So when you walk into a home and it isn't exactly what you wanted, just remember you can change things about a home. Other things you cannot change or are much more difficult and much more expensive to change. So just focus on those must-haves and checking those boxes, and then the other controllables you can change in the future. Unless you're custom building a home, it is highly unlikely that you're going to walk into a home and it is going to be the perfect match for you. Over 70% of Americans would change something about their home if they could right now. So it is likely going to be the case that you will also have to do a little bit of improvement or changes once you purchase that home, but don't let that scare you. If you stick to everything that we just talked about, then I'd say your chances for regretting that home purchase are going to be far less. That being said, there are always things on the horizon that we can't foresee, and there are things that are out of our control, but you should be in good shape. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you think that there's anything that I missed. Your real estate resource, Jamie Collins. Take care.